Welcome to the Answers Yes podcast, where we interview some of the most interesting people that have said yes to opportunities in their life. We hope that through these stories, you can learn to create your own destiny by saying yes along the way. Join us as we explore the new series covering topics such as passion, integrity, and hard work. I'm your host, Jim Riley, and I hope you enjoy these interviews as much as I do. I believe that everyone has an important message worth hearing. Sean Whalen, how you doing?
What's up, buddy?
You're running and gunning today, I guess.
Running and gunning. Just got done meeting with, believe it or not, some government officials. Always an interesting experience, but yeah, good day today.
You don't have to tell me about those officials. You know, I spend enough time in politics up here in Montana. You know, we got to do our part to make a difference.
There's some good ones. So I met with a couple of them that are my buddies today, and we were talking over some strategies and some things and some future, but it was a good day today with the politicians.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being involved. It takes people stepping up. There's not enough people stepping up and asking the good questions. So it's good to hear that. Hey, real quick, I want to thank you, first of all, and I've said this before publicly, and you've seen it and liked it. But, you know, I'm living my dream up here in Montana because you lit a spark under my ass when I was in Newport, California, to get up and get my ranch going and spend some time with my girls. And that was inspired by you with your daughter years ago. So thank you for that.
You're welcome, man. It's great. It's great to see it. It's great watching you build out your ranch as I'm building out my ranch. So it's fun.
Yeah, I can't wait till you run into some of the challenges that I've had. It builds grit and character, so it'll be good for you.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, today's your son's birthday?
Yeah, today's my 17-year-old's birthday, so it's a good day today.
Right on. Well, I love seeing you raise your kids and integrate them into everything that you're doing. You're setting a great example for other dads to follow, and we need more dads to be like you. So thanks for that too.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, you know, I follow you, and I was a Lions Den member. I was an RTA member, and we started our own group for young entrepreneurs, which has been great. We really felt there was some hopelessness around the country for kids to figure out where they're heading. If it wasn't college, what are they going to do? And we want to see them become entrepreneurs, business leaders, or great entrepreneurs. And, you know, we were struggling to find a platform, and I absolutely loved your platform for Lions Den. And I've been on a lot of platforms. And when you said you were launching your own white label, man, I was salivating. You know, it's called Jedari, but can you tell me or tell our audience why you decided to do that and where it's headed?
Yeah, man, for sure. And I'm glad that you like it. So I've had my coaching group, the Lions Den, for 8.5 years now. And it started on Facebook, you know, as a private group. And I, you know, would talk about it there. And we did all of our live calls there and stuff. And I realized pretty quickly that, you know, me running a business on a platform that could shut me down at any time was probably not the best idea. And so I started about 4 years ago, looking at different options and trying different things. And, you know, I had about 1,000 members of my group, and we pulled everybody off and onto this different platform that I thought would work. And it was actually terrible. So we moved everybody back to Facebook. And about 1.5 years ago, I just said, screw it. I'm going to do my own thing. And so I found a buddy of mine who was big into the tech space, and I hit him up and I just said, look, this is exactly what I want. Either you can do it or you can't. I don't want 10% of it, 30% of it. You know, I had talked to so many other guys who had platforms and groups and different tech, and they're like, we can do 60% of what you want. I'm like, I don't think you understand. I want all of it or nothing. So we started the journey, and he said, hey, give me a week and I'll get back to you. I said, great. About a week later, he called me. He said, it'll be quite a bit of time and a lot of money, but we can do it. And I said, great. And so about 1.5 years ago, we started the process of Jedari. And really, Jedari has everything that I wanted as a coach and as a community aggregator, somebody who had built a coaching group that had 25,000 plus people come through it. I saw what worked and what didn't work. I saw what, you know, kept people sticky and kept people involved. I saw what people didn't like and didn't, you know, want as part of their community. And so, you know, I really put a lot of time and energy and thought into how do I want to run my own group. And so, you know, we built Jedari, and fast forward to January of this year, 2023, we finally opened up the doors to some clients and started bringing some people on. And now we're getting ready to officially open it up to the public here within the next 60 days or so.
Well, I got to say we were honored, or at least lucky, to be in the first 50 that got on and started setting up. I
Yeah.
received a call from Joe, who's great, Joe Jenkins. Working with you guys, pushing out the info. My first question to him was, "How safe is this platform?" Because I've been canceled enough too in what I'm doing, and he assured me it's the spot to be.
Yeah, well, it's you own it. You know what I mean? It's your technology, it's your platform. There's no censorship. That was a big thing for me. I wanted to know that some dude in some tech company, in a little back room who didn't like my political stance just didn't hit a button and cancel my entire business. So, as a Jedari user, you own your technology, you own the platform. You pretty much say whatever you want and do whatever you want inside of your group. So that was something that was really, really, really important to me.
There's two things on there that are beyond my original expectations. One is the gamification, with your critical tasks and things like that. I didn't expect to see that. It's there, as well as the opportunity to have an actual phone app. I was also
Right.
surprised with that. Are those two key things that you had to have?
Yeah. The first platform that we moved off to with my Lions Den, it was just a web app. And so you had to be on a laptop. And so for me, I'm constantly moving and I'm constantly mobile. And I wanted to make sure that I had an app, an actual, iOS or Droid app, something that I could use on my phone. And that all of the features that we had, off of the phone that were on the web were also available on the phone. So it's significantly more difficult to build the user interface between the two to have an app that's on your phone and also a web-based app. But it was important to me. It was non-negotiable, really. Like it had to happen. So we could have built what we built in probably 4 months without the mobile app, but I had to have it. So yeah, the really cool part is that if you're a smaller community manager, if you've got some a smaller group and the mobile's not that important to you, we have that option for you. So you can run your entire platform, entire group just via the web app. But if having an application that you want your customers using, you want your clients involved in, you like you said, scoring their task list, having access to the replays, having access to the library of videos, having access to the technology and all of the other things. We have the option for you to have your own private white labeled app, phone app as well, which is anybody who's ever tried to develop their own app or build their own app knows it's damn near impossible. It costs you hundreds of thousands, if not millions, and it'll take you a long, long, long time. So with Jedari, you can literally have your own white labeled app in a matter of a few days, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So my first thought when I was looking into this was like shit, this is going to be expensive, but I'm going to talk to Joe anyhow. And he started going through the details. I said, "Look, Joe, I've got less than 100 members right now. Maybe we've got to wait till we've got more to ramp up." And by the way, Brad Lee's been on my show. He's got a great thing with his light speed, but
Yeah.
that thing's pricey, right? From day one, doesn't matter how many members you have. And Joe's like, "No, Jim." He goes, "Listen to the pricing structure." Uh, how are you guys able to do that? Because it's roughly $174 for my package. With the app, it goes up to just under $2,000, which both prices are unbelievable.
We are still in the process of understanding and really developing out the back end financial model, usage, server space, so on and so forth. But when you're talking about web usage, it's significantly less expensive to operate there than it is on an app user interface. So on a mobile app, user interface. So, our whole business model is built around scale. We want to be able to have 10,000 customers by the end of 2023, which we think is very attainable and very possible. So kind of like anything else with scale and with users, then it can become, really profitable for us. So our goal wasn't to get 50 people on and go, okay, cool, look what we got. Our goal was to start there, bandwidth test, break it a couple of times, figure out how to fix it a couple of times, and then really be able to scale. But with, 5, 8, 10, 12, 20,000 users, we'll definitely be able to create a pretty profitable business model with it.
Yeah, as a businessman, I can see that too, especially as your numbers ramp up. I mean, for us, we're going to do everything we can to ramp up our own numbers, and this technology is going to allow us to do it. There's one other little surprise that maybe you can touch on. I was surprised that once we have our platform, that we can add more URLs to that, and we can have like a subset of another division or another, headlining property on there. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive that you're able to do that as well.
Yeah. Like I said, I built this for me, and I think that's something really important for people to understand. Is like I didn't build this just as like a, oh, here's a cool idea that I got. I want to build some tech and then put it out there to the world. I built Jedari for me. I mean, I'm user number one, so my entire coaching platform with Lions Not Sheep is on Jedari. So like that's, I think, something really important for people to understand is this wasn't built by some tech guy for the marketplace without having real usage and real data behind it. So, this was developed and built exclusively for the Lions Den, which is my coaching group. And about halfway through the process, we decided, hey, this might actually be viable for a lot of other people too. And that's when we decided to white label it. So everything that I've ever wanted, from multiple domains to the app, to the mapping, to the tracking, to the gamify, to live videos, to a story feature, just like you have with Instagram, to having profiles, users being able to put in their Instagram handles, their social media handles, their business profiles, users being able to have the access to share in a social environment, just like we have on Facebook and Instagram. That's huge. You know what I mean? So I wanted to have a lot of the same things that we're used to, but then also have the flexibility for you as a business owner and a community organizer and manager to scale, any way possible. And that's why we probably have more features than we probably need and what most people would use. But that was important to me to have all that.
Yeah. Hey, just a couple more quick questions. And by the way, your team over there, I've spoken to Greg Anderson on several occasions on top of Joe from the sales side, but Blair has been unbelievable. And I just want you to know that. And I've told her a dozen times, because all these features you're talking about, as we discover the next feature, it's like, wow, well, we want to do that. And she's like, yes, here's how you do it. Let me help you out. And continues to get us set up and make this program so much larger than life on our end. We're just thrilled to launch it next week. So just a little shout out to them.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We've got a really good team. We're growing our team right now. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. All right. Two other questions. My listeners would kill me if I didn't ask you. You hung it out there that you're going to be shutting down Lions Den at some point. Are you talking about what's next? I mean, I know you got a lot on your plate.
I'm not talking about it yet, but I felt really called and compelled, and it's been on my mind and it's been on my heart for a while. And there definitely are things coming. I'm seeing some things that I want to do that I feel really passionate about. But I've had this business for the last 8.5 years, and it's been really well. We've literally had 25,000 plus people come through and join this group, and literally countless thousands and thousands of people that have had incredible experiences. So I just felt really called, like, this chapter is coming to a close and it's time to write a new chapter. So, when I started it, I wasn't married. I was, in a different relationship, and things have evolved and changed in my life. And so I feel really called and compelled to expand myself to the next level. And that's where we're headed. So I'm excited about it.
I love that. And I think you got back from a retreat with your wife. And to me, it feels very spiritual, where you're heading in terms of your language and your mind. And I applaud you for that, because it's hard for people to step away from what might have become their identity forever. And I think the content that you've put out there, it's going to last forever. So it's not like your job's done. You're just moving your own personal being to the next project. Your book is great. I send that to most of my clients. The content is online. They can get it. So I applaud you for having the nuts to do that and find the next chapter.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's important to me. I think a lot of people get stuck, and a lot of people that are leaders. I mean, I consider myself a pretty poised and an effective leader, and I definitely saw that. It was like, this is not, this is just a season. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely took a lot of people by shock, because they're like, why would you shut down a very profitable, very good business? And as some people that have come before us have said, the enemy of great is good. And so it's important for me to scale and to grow and to continue moving.
Yeah. And I think it aligns with your values, Sean. I mean, you talk about a lot of things, and I think that this move is going to align with your values. It's interesting. As you might remember, my brother was the CEO and trustee of In-N-Out Burger for a lot of years. And that's a Christian company. He goes, we're open on Easter. He goes, we're going to close Easter now. That was something that he pushed on. And even though it cost him a ton of money, it lined with their values. And I like to see when companies do that more often. So anyways, I just figured I'd ask. I figured that would be the answer. Last question for you. You know, we met over discussion on the phone about buying race cars, trophy trucks, and off-road. And my day, you know, getting on this call, I was watching the qualifying live for the Mint 400. Are you ever going to get back in the dirt?
I was actually supposed to be down there, so we had unfortunately the car was not prepped in time, and we didn't get it done. And kind of a crappy situation. I've had my car with a guy for the last 6 months, and he wasn't able to get it done in time, believe it or not.
No, I believe it.
we were all registered to be there, so I had my starting position and everything. So it's just it was kind of unfortunate. But yeah, we're gonna get we'll get the Razor back, and we'll get out in the dirt at some point in time here. So racing's definitely in my blood, and you'll see us out there again for sure.
Right on. Well, you know, I love what they're doing out there at the Mint, the Martelli brothers. I saw BJ's out there running around, a lot of my old buddies. So it hurts to watch them from Montana in the snow, but
yeah, no joke.
I had my time. So anyway, Sean, look, I want to thank you so much for just jumping on. This Jedari push is big for us because it's going to change the nature of our platform and what we're doing for our group. And I want to thank you for putting that out there, and just wish you much success in this thing.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Yep. Have a great one. Talk soon.
You too. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you for listening to today's show. It is my pleasure and honor to interview all of the guests that have been on the Answer is Yes podcast. If you have enjoyed the show, please go on iTunes and subscribe, give a rating, or simply tell a friend about the show. We also believe in the message of our guests and the positive influence of their stories. As my own mentor and coach, David Meltzer, has taught me, spend some time every day thinking and writing about the things in your own life that you have more than enough of. You will find out how blessed we really are. Please visit my website, livelifedriven.com, for the latest updates about me and what I'm doing. Plus, I post a monthly blog about the many topics on this show. This podcast can also be found there. As I learned early on in life, what you believe is what you will achieve. Thanks, Mark Victor Hansen, and thank you, and have a great week.